Will he or won't he? Well, that's the big question hanging over the world as geopolitical tensions between the United States of America and Iran escalate. War clouds thicken over Tehran, from threatening military action to deploying massive warships. U.S. President Donald Trump has sent a series of warnings, leaving global leaders guessing what comes next. But the big question is U.S.-Iran on all-out war imminent? For that, let's take you through the situation on the ground. Well, in the last 24 hours, Donald Trump has sent out some mixed signals, stating that the military aircraft carrier strike group, along with other assets, are heading towards the Middle East. But in the same breath, he also stated, and I'm quoting him here, maybe we won't have to use it. This has left people confused and anticipating an attack. Now, Iran has issued a stark warning, saying it will treat any attack with an all-out war as a response. Now, meanwhile, several airlines have also cancelled flights to the Middle East amidst fears of U.S.-Iran conflict. First up, listen in to these warnings that have come in from Donald Trump.
So Iran's in big trouble. We're watching the situation very carefully. I've made the statement very strongly that if they start killing people like they have in the past, we will get involved. We'll be hitting them very hard where it hurts. And that doesn't mean boots on the ground, but it means hitting them very, very hard where it hurts. So we're watching it. We're watching it very closely. We're watching Iran. We're watching Iran. You know, we have a lot of ships going that direction, just in case. We have a big flotilla going in that direction. We have an armada. We have a massive fleet heading in that direction, and maybe we won't have to use it. We'll see.
Viewers, let's now take you through the threats that U.S. President Donald Trump has issued in the last few weeks, from locked and loaded warnings to a massive naval armada heading towards Iran threat. Now, on 2nd of January, he mentioned locked and loaded will hit Iran very hard. 11th of January, he said help is on its way when we saw protests escalating in parts of Iran. And he also urged the protesters to keep protesting. 21st of January, he said will wipe Iran from earth. Whole country is going to get blown up. That was another threat that came. And then on 23rd of January, massive armada moving towards Iran. We are watching Iran very closely, is what U.S. President has said. As tensions escalate following threats from President Trump over Iran's crackdown on civilian protesters, American naval strike groups and strategic assets are repositioning in a pattern that mirrors previous military operations against Tehran. The USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group, which was stationed in the South China Sea when Trump issued his initial warning, has been steadily inching towards the Arabian Sea. Let's tell you how U.S. is now prepping. Now, USS Abraham Lincoln, nuclear power aircraft carrier. Now, it is, in the air. What is in the air is also very, very important. Fighter jets that are on board the carrier. There are multiple guided missile destroyers as well. As far as defense preparation is concerned, then let's tell you about what's happening on that front. U.S. bases in the Middle East right now are on high alert. Air defense systems have been activated as well. Let's go across to my colleague Shrunjoy Chaudhary, who is joining us live right now for more on this. Shrunjoy, it's a new day. New threat has come in from U.S. President Donald Trump. When he was at the World Economic Forum in Davos, his focus was purely on Greenland and dealing with, an ally turned foe, if I can say that, for Europe. But now, again, he's back to Iran. I mean, what's really going on?
It's a decision he takes. And he has sent the Abraham Lincoln, which is a super carrier, 100,000 tons or so, and it can carry, and it does carry, fighter planes, as you rightly said, the F-35 and the F-18, plus, of course, missiles and so on. So it is also accompanied with 3 destroyers, and it's a carrier battle group, very, very fearsome. Now, what it will do is something we don't know. What it can do, we do know. It can strike, let's say, nuclear installations, as America has not very long ago. It can strike military installations, as the Israelis did. It can strike civilian infrastructure, like power plants, like oil wells, like refineries, and so on. But what can the Iranians do? The Iranians have loads of ballistic missiles. And as you rightly said, the Iranians can hit places where there are, in the Gulf, where there are American bases, in Qatar, in Bahrain, in Kuwait, places like that. So if push comes to shove, it's entirely possible that it can lead to a lot of turmoil in the Gulf.
Well,
and it could happen soon.
Absolutely.
If it does.
And the world is watching all the developments as well very, very carefully. Thank you very much, Ranjoy. Appreciate you joining us with your inputs on this story. Let's now